Welcome to part 4 of Bitcoin Basics Theory and Practice, and in this video, we're going to see why Bitcoin is the best investment of our lifetime. And it's the best investment you can make in your lifetime. So the bull case for Bitcoin. Everyone's looking for a safe place to grow their wealth. Traditional investments are losing ground. Bitcoin isn't just a cryptocurrency. It's the ultimate technology for saving value onto the future. Now, what makes Bitcoin the ultimate investment and the ultimate store of value? Well, the first thing is scarcity. Only 21 million Bitcoin forever. So fixed supply, unlike any other asset, unlike any other money in the history of mankind, Bitcoin is the only asset, it's the only money that has a fixed limited supply that is not going to change at all. Okay, it's completely immutable. No central authority can print more. So when you combine these two factors, when you combine the fact that it has a limited supply and it's completely immutable, and the demand for it is growing, that's going to mean price appreciation. So we've got supply shock, growing demand equal price appreciation. So when something is scarce and the demand for it is growing, I mean, we are now in 2025, institutional money is entering into Bitcoin since last year. Bitcoin treasury companies are growing in numbers, and everybody now pretty much knows about Bitcoin. Everybody wants to, not everybody, but big money now is after Bitcoin. Institutions, companies, asset managers, everybody's buying Bitcoin by the billions. So demand is not gonna go down in the future, it's gonna keep going up. So when there is a growing demand and there is a fixed supply, that simply means the price will go up. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin versus traditional assets. So in terms of the supply, gold inflates by approximately 2% a year. Real estate inflates. You can always build new buildings. Stocks, they are unlimited. You can also always issue new stocks, and Bitcoin is completely capped. So Bitcoin is the only asset, it's the only money that is completely capped and has a fixed supply of 21 million. Portability. How can you move that asset easily? So gold, it's hard to move. It's not easy, and it's heavy, and it requires security and all these kind of things. Real estate, of course, you can't move real estate. Can you move a building from one city to another or from one country to another? You can't. Stocks, yes, you can move them. Not you can move them, but you can access them from different places. Bitcoin is instant, okay? Bitcoin, you can transfer Bitcoin, you can send and receive Bitcoin from anywhere in the world, anytime, 24/7, no issues. So Bitcoin wins the round of portability, it wins the round of the supply. Now let's look at divisibility. Now gold is hard to divide. It's not easy to divide gold. Real estate, you can't really divide real estate, can you? Stocks, yes, you can divide stocks. Bitcoin, you can divide it to the smallest unit, which is 1 Satoshi. 1 Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis, so it can be divided into 100 million units of Satoshi. So Bitcoin also wins the round when it comes to divisibility. Security. Gold has centralized risk. Of course, it's secure, it's in the bank, but it has centralized risk. Actually, nobody knows if gold is in the banks, but people assume it's there, so we can assume that it's there and it's working. Real estate, it has a lot of counterparty risk. So real estate, you are under the risk of natural disasters. You are under the risk of regulation of where your real estate is, what's going to happen with the government regulation. There is the risk of the tenants, what they are going to do, the maintenance, all these kind of things. So it has a lot of counterparty risk, all right? Stocks also has centralized risk, just like gold. Bitcoin is unbreakable. It doesn't have any of these risks, and there is no counterparty risk. So Bitcoin is the most secure asset you can buy compared to gold, real estate, or stocks. Now, salability, how easy it is to sell your assets. So gold, time, salability across time. In other words, Does it hold value across time? And gold, of course, holds value across time. It's been the best store of value for centuries now, so it's good. How easy it is to transfer, to send gold across space? It's not easy. It's actually difficult to transfer gold. It's heavy. It requires security and a lot of things. So it's weak when it comes to space, salability across space. Gold is weak. Across scale, how easy it is to sell gold in small or large amounts. And it's also not easy to sell gold in large amounts or even in small amounts. Real estate, how easy it is, sellability across time. Does it hold value across time? It just holds value, it doesn't appreciate. Sellability across space, can you move real estate across space? Of course you can't, so none. Can you sell small amounts of your building? Of course you can't, so there is no sellability across scale, so none. Stocks, do they hold their value across time? It depends on which stocks, it depends on the profitability of the company, so it depends on a lot of things. So let's just say it's not bad if you pick the right stock. Sellability across space, it's easy. Sellability across scale, yes, you can divide it. You can sell stocks, small amounts or large amounts, it doesn't matter, you can sell it. Bitcoin ticks all the boxes when it comes to sellability. It's sellable across time, space, and scale. It holds value across time. It's the best performing asset. It can be transferred across space easily, and you can also sell it. It has the best sellability across scale. You can sell 100 million of Bitcoin. You can sell 1 Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's a small amount or a large amount. So it's the best asset when it comes to sellability across scale. So Bitcoin also is the best when it comes to sellability. The network effect. More holders means more PGU, which is price go up, means more demand. And this is what's going on in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been going through a bull run for the past 16 years. And the price has been going up since its inception. That's why demand is increasing. That helps the network effects of Bitcoin. More miners means more security. More node runners means more decentralization. Lindy Effect. The Lindy Effect. So basically the Lindy Effect states that the longer something survives, the longer it will likely keep on surviving. So Bitcoin, the longer it survived, the longer it keeps surviving. Now Bitcoin has survived for the past 16 years. So that means it's going to survive for another 16 years and beyond. Bitcoin also survived hack attempts, bans, media attacks, and trust is earned over time. The network becomes more anti-fragile. So Bitcoin has already earned the trust of a lot of people, of a lot of investors, of a lot of companies, of a lot of individuals. And the more trust it earns, the more trustworthy it becomes, and the network just grows and becomes anti-fragile. The historical performance of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's track record is unmatched, 100,000% appreciation since 2010. It's outperformed gold, the S&P 500, and real estate. It's the best performing asset of the decade. So there is no second best, as Michael Saylor said. So Bitcoin has the best historical performance. Now, why it's still early to buy Bitcoin and why it's still early to still invest in Bitcoin. Now, global adoption is still below 5%. So 95% of the population, of the global population, doesn't own Bitcoin, doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. So we are still early. Institutional capital just entering, and macro environment, that means debt, inflation, currency debasement is all still going on. So that means Bitcoin price appreciation is still huge. So yeah, this is what makes Bitcoin the best investment of our lifetime. This is what part 4 is all about. And in the next video, part 5, we will demystify Bitcoin's inner workings. Why Bitcoin works, what makes it works, and what makes it anti-fragile. That's what we are going to see in the next video in part 5 of the Bitcoin Basics series. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Write your questions. I will answer them all and see you in the next one. Take care.